So in my video about how to stop the thoughts, I talk about the fact that really annoyingly, you actually can't stop the thoughts. And the more you try and stop the thoughts, the worse the problem actually gets. So basically, the more that you think about them, try and push them away, try and change them into something else, do anything to try and stop them, it's like you're actually giving them more and more power and making them bigger and bigger. And the other thing about that is we want to get away from this idea that it's the thoughts that are the problem, because actually what's the real problem is how we're responding to thoughts. Because everybody has random thoughts, random feelings, random sensations, random urges. It's just about how you respond to them that makes them stick and makes them keep coming back. So if you keep trying to stop them and then that doesn't work, you're going to believe even more strongly that they're the problem, because look, I'm trying to make it better and it's not going away. So I know I'm repeating myself here, but I just thought it was worth recapping on that part of this, because it's so important to really keep coming back to the idea that it's not the thoughts that are the problem, it's what you do with them. And the more you try and stop them, the worse it gets. It's like giving them some kind of super fertilizer. Okay, so if we can't stop them, then what can we do about them? Or how should we best respond to them? So the kind of simple but very difficult to put into practice answer is to do nothing at all. To just let those thoughts, images, urges, sensations take care of themselves. Let them come and let them go. After all, they came on their own, so they can go on their own. But we do know that's a lot easier said than done. But you want to start thinking of those thoughts, images, urges, worries, sensations. You want to start thinking of them a little bit like breathing. You know, you breathe in, if you can. You breathe in and you breathe out, but you don't try and breathe out. It just happens on its own, right? So part of the problem with the thoughts and the things that are coming in, that you're getting involved with something that you actually don't need to get involved with. And the more you get involved with it, the more you get in the way of the natural process. So you should try thinking about breathing out. You'd be amazed how if you try and start really concentrating on your breathing, it feels a whole lot less natural and a whole lot less easy. Okay, so that's the recap. But we know that when we ask somebody who is petrified of something to simply not pay attention to it, it's incredibly difficult, if not almost impossible. It's a bit like saying to somebody who is petrified, has a phobia of spiders, saying, okay, I just want you to go and sit in that really old garden shed, which is covered in cobwebs, loads of spiders, and just do nothing about it. I mean, frankly, it's not going to happen, is it? Right? You would sit there, you would be petrified, you'd be looking, where is every spider? You'd be monitoring them, you'd be thinking about where's the best place to sit to try and avoid, or more likely than not, you'd probably run out of the shed and avoid the whole thing altogether, right? So we need to give you, or you need to give yourself, some tools or some ways of slowly being able to expose yourself to the things that scare you, those thoughts, images, urges, sensations. And the primary way that we do this is through gradual exposure and response prevention. Now, don't just screech at me and turn off when I say that, because I know that a lot of people find that they feel like they've tried it and it doesn't work, or they simply don't know how to do it. But I can promise you, when it's done right, and it isn't that difficult, and I'm going to show you how in another video, when it's done right, it is the most extraordinary tool for helping you take the sting out of those thoughts, images, urges, sensations, that stuff that's coming in that you don't like. Helps you to feel less petrified of it. And as you feel less petrified of it, then you can start to learn to let it take care of itself. So, as I said, I'm going to make you a video. It's called Whatever OCD. Exercises to help you learn to let the thoughts take care of themselves. And that video is going to teach you exactly how to do ERP. Okay? So even if you think, oh, I've tried before, it doesn't work, really, I urge you just to watch it and see if you can put it into action for your own experience of OCD, because I promise you there is a way. Now, there's another thing that I find is really helpful, and this is not something that I've made up, it's been developed by researchers and tested a lot, is a thing called attention training, which is about giving you the power or the control, if you like, over what you choose to pay attention to. And this is really helpful because you know that when one of these thoughts, urges, sensations, images pops up or comes up and ambushes you, that's the thing you tend to pay attention to. And it becomes quite hard not to pay attention to that. So I'm also making a video called Whatever OCD, taking control of what you pay attention to, or something like that. And in that, I'm going to teach you how to practice training your attention. Then you've got two things that you can use together. You're going to practice training your attention, and then you're going to do your exposure and response prevention exercises in a gradual way. But you can use your newfound better control of attention to help you when you are doing your exposures and you're feeling very uncomfortable or distressed. So it's going to help you to let those thoughts and feelings be there and pay your attention elsewhere. So it's very different. The idea of switching your attention is very different to what we were talking about right at the video, which is at the beginning of the video, which is about stopping your thoughts. So those are the two things that I want you to get started on. And so watch those two videos. They're both part of my new Whatever series, which is just about getting to the point of being able to go, yeah, whatever, OCD. So I'll stop rambling, and hopefully you can get on to those videos next.